Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I want to share a very deep experience that I've had in the past couple of days. I think it was like 2 days ago or 3 days ago that absolutely shook me to my core and changed my life from ground up. Okay, and I'm going to be talking about my first ever trip on magic mushrooms. I always wanted to do this, and it was just not kind of accessible to me. So right now I'm in the north of Thailand, and this place has just a completely different energy. It's just I can't even put that into words. And there was this retreat that they were holding, and I decided to sign up, and I took the last place actually. So I feel like that I was really meant to be there, and now I know that yes, it was meant to happen, and every single decision prior to this moment led me to that. Okay, because for example, if I arrived in this place just a couple of days later, I would never have this experience. If I just made like some decisions different in my life, you know, I would not come to this moment where it happened, okay, and the way it happened. So I feel like I was definitely divinely guided to this experience. And I'm using this kind of words, you know, like before I used to read a lot about spirituality and stuff like that, but it was still more like a jargon for me. Like I would not really feel it, you know, like yeah, I knew like the idea, you know, about everything, but I didn't actually know what it was, you know, like I was just using the fancy words, but I didn't actually know what it actually meant. Okay, but this experience changed everything, and it was just something. My life is never gonna be the same. Like there was life that I had before mushrooms, and there's life that I'm going to have now after mushrooms. Like it's just two completely different lives, I feel like, because the world is different. Like I see the world differently, and it just in a good way, you know. And it's just sometimes I just want to cry, you know. Like I feel like I was living all these years without this knowledge, you know, and without whatever I experienced. Okay, so let's get started right with how it went. It was sort of a ceremony. We were 11 people. We were doing some mantra, some energy cleansing before taking the actual mushrooms, and we took quite a high dose. It was 3.5 grams, I feel like, so it's quite a big dose, right? And I was a bit scared, and during the trip, you know, like whatever feelings you are going into it with, it's what shows up during the trip. So I don't recommend being scared, you know, like just trust me. I know it's hard if you have never done it before, but if I'm ever going to do this again, I'm definitely not going to be as scared because I already know what it is. Okay, and it's just something extraordinary and something that none of us have to be scared about, you know, because fear doesn't actually even exist, right? Okay, so a couple of minutes after I took the mushrooms, I started just laughing so uncontrollably. Everything was just really funny to me, and I started to see this kind of pink butterflies in my eyes. And then I stood up, and I started to feel really like, you know, wobbly in a way. I started to walk around. I was dancing a little bit, you know, like being wobbly, and I felt like I'm super tall, you know, like I felt like I'm taller than everyone. I felt like I'm just like looking down at the world. Okay, and then there were beds, so I just lay down on the bed, and then it all started, and I had a couple of hallucinations. So for example, there was a blanket next to me, and it was like in a weird shape, and you know, I saw like a blue monster out of it, you know, but it was cute. Like it was funny actually. It was not scary. It was just a really funny blue monster. and I was laughing about it, laughing about everything. And then what happened is that I felt like I lost my body and I was just in my mind. Okay, so everybody has a different experience with this, but what happened in my case is that my pineal gland got activated. Okay, I have been reading a lot about pineal gland activation, a lot about DMTs, a lot about these kind of things, and I feel like at this point this is what happened in my personal case. Okay, it doesn't have to happen to everyone that their pineal gland gets activated, right? I feel like it happened because I already had the knowledge that there's such thing as this. Okay, and what it actually meant is that I saw everything with the eye within. These eyes were just not functioning anymore, you know, like what they saw was just, the reality was getting wrapped, you know, like it just stopped existing and it was just like wrapping itself around me and everything became one. And I saw everything just with the eye within, right? And probably you're asking yourself, what is the eye within, right? So honestly, it was just a lot of colors and it was infinite love. Okay, I felt like as the world collapsed around me, I became everything. I became nothing and everything at the same time. And I saw the plants and other people the same as me. Like I saw their soul, you know. I figured out that I am not different from any of the life around me. Okay, I saw a couple souls in there. It was mostly the people that were most important to me, like my family and my friends, and I saw their soul and everybody was laughing, like everybody's soul was laughing, and they were like, yeah, this is what we all were waiting for, you know. Like did not use the words, but that's just the energy that they had, you know. They were just like, yeah, this is where we belong, this is where we come from, and finally we are reunited here, like we are all the same, right? And it was just crazy because there are also people that I don't like in this waking life, and it's clearly a reality, and I saw their soul and I found out that they're not so much different, you know, like their soul is the same as mine. And I feel like it unlocks such a deep unconditional love for everything and everyone around me, because once I came out of the trip the next day, I just saw everybody, like I just saw other people and I saw myself in them, and I saw their soul was the same as mine, you know. Like I felt like I really felt that they are me, you know, and I am them, and we are just here on this earth to experience love to the extent we can experience, right? Because whatever is waiting for us in the outer world, which I think I experienced, or at least the surface of it in this during my trip, was just something so sorry guys, it just it's coming back to me. It's just something that I cannot explain in words. It's just so deep and it feels so true, you know. So during my trip, I felt like that reality is the truth, and this reality that we are living here right now is just a game. Like this is literally a playground, like literally, right? Like it was just really funny to me because we all put so much importance on this world, while everything, like every single wish that we have in this world is just to be there, you know. Like we all just want love and happiness, and what I experienced there was just pure love and happiness, but on a level that we cannot experience in this world, because this world is full of limitations, and all people are like, oh, I can only be happy if that thing happens, or I can only be loved if my crush loves me, you know. And but that thing was just so, it was above earthly things, right? Like it's really hard to explain. I'm doing my best to explain that to you guys, and I know everybody's like, oh, like you have to experience it, like it's really hard to put into words. Everybody's saying the same thing, so I'm doing my best to put it into words, okay? Of course, it's the best thing if you experience it, but because, you know, one thing is just hearing about it. I was just hearing about it, like, you know, infinite love, and we are all coming from the same source, blah blah blah, but like, you know, but that's when I really felt it, right? And I really felt like I was looking down on the world, and I saw what was playing out here, right? I was one with the source, and I was looking down on the earth, or on my physical body here, and seeing what happens. And I saw all the limitations. I saw that I saw every single limitation that I put on myself, right? And for example, that I have to be a certain way because people are not gonna like me. I have to be quiet at this time because people are, you know, gonna think I'm weird. But then I realized, like, is this true, or is this a limit I'm putting on myself, right? And when I was on my trip, I really felt like I cannot go back to this waking reality, because what I experienced there was the ultimate truth. Like, it felt more real than what I'm experiencing here. So I got scared during the trip that, okay, now I'm addicted to that. I'm addicted to mushrooms because I will not want to live in this waking world anymore. I will just want to be there, right? So I got a little bit scared, and I was like, oh, I want to go back. I really wanted to go back from it. I just wanted to, like, you know, forget about it, right? I wanted to forget about the entire experience and wanted to just, you know, snap out of it and pretend like it never happened. But then there was this voice in my head that said, like, okay, you want to go back, but that means that you are choosing your limitations. You want to go back to the old you, but now you are aware that you chose this, you know? You chose to come back to your old self, and you're accepting all the limitations that you had before. And then I was like, no, like, I don't want to, but like, I want to be this unlimited self, but like, how can I come back to the world now with this knowledge, right? So I was really fighting it because I thought I will never be able to come back, and I will be addicted to that feeling, and I'll just want to be there all the time, right? And now I'm back. I don't feel like I'm addicted at all. I feel like all the experience that I experienced there, I was able to bring it here, right? Maybe not all, like, I'm not feeling it to the extent that I was feeling it there, but sometimes I get these flashes and I see it again, you know? I see this infinite love, and I see the world collapsing around me and me becoming everything and nothing at the same time, you know? So now every time I feel like somebody's judging me or something, I just imagine that the world collapses. So it literally, like, becomes flat in front of my eyes, and it's just me. And it helps me so much to just be my authentic self. It's just insane, you know? And that's the intention I went with into the session, that I just want to, you know, become more authentic, right? And I think it just really helped, right? And also the thing that what I'm also bringing to my waking life here is that people are not so much different from me, you know? Like, everything what everybody wants eventually is just love, you know? Like, I know it's kind of crazy to think about it, but even if you think you want money, even if you think you want, I don't know what, you want to travel, you want to do something, you want your crush to love you, all you just want to experience is love, you know? Is that you are loved, is that you are worthy, is that you are you matter, and you love yourself. And that's all actually everybody wants to experience in this world. And now I see the people differently, and I interact with them differently, you know? I see their soul, and I see their desire for this love, right? And it was just really, you know, life-changing for me. And I'm going to mention that these are like the main takes that I have taken from my trip. But there are a little bit a couple more things that I wanted to mention is that when I started tripping, my whole body would become like a play-doh. Like I would be just touching my body and it was just so like, you know, mushy. I would just completely like, my body would just disappear, you know. It didn't like completely disappear, but it was definitely like fluid, right? Like it was a wave not a particle, right? That's what I would say. Also, my smell became extremely sensitive. There was this one smell that I was smelling during the whole trip, and ever since that time I cannot stop smelling this smell. I just smell it everywhere. It's kind of like sweet but like really strong. I'm not sure if it's enjoyable smell. It's just a smell. It's not a bad smell, but it's just strong and sweet. And yeah, I became really sensitive to smells since then. So I'm just like walking around on the street and I smell everything. I smelled everybody. I smell just, you know, very strong. And another thing is that I feel like I came back to my childhood. I feel like there was a point in my life where I started to get conditioned from this childlike version of myself. I started to get conditioned from the world, but I feel like I'm back now. I feel like I see colors the same way as I saw them during my childhood. I feel like I'm experiencing the world the same way as I did when I was a child, which is beautiful. I love it. And I feel like I'm just a clean slate again, and my self-love definitely like exploded. Like my heart chakra was just like that, and it still is actually. And I are actually, for the first time in my life, I feel like I actually matter, you know. And I did feel like it before, or at least I thought I felt like it, but this is a whole different level. I feel like this feeling is just it's just me, you know. Like I'm all that is, right? Like I am all that matters, you know. Like how can I ever think that I don't matter? Like I am the source, you know. Like it's within me and all around me, you know. So of course I matter, you know. Like, and I was hearing these words before, okay. So I was trying to like, you know, putting my mind like, yeah, I'm the source and I matter, but it was completely different when I actually experienced it. Okay, like it was a whole new experience that I just could not, you know, I just can't explain it better than I already did. Yeah. And what else? So I told you guys about a childhood. Oh, okay. And I had some like you know, like childhood trauma and stuff like that, and I feel like it's all gone. I feel like I don't blame my parents anymore for anything that they did to me. I don't feel fear as much as I did before, or when I do, I'm aware that this is just an illusion, you know. Like this is just this is not real, you know. And I'm choosing it, you know. Now every single limitation I'm putting on myself, I'm aware that I'm choosing it, and that this is not the ultimate truth, right? So I believe that this is what we're all going to experience after we die, and it's just one infinite love, and all the souls are there, all the souls are happy, all the souls are celebrating this oneness, and nothing on this earth actually ever mattered. Just it only mattered like how much you loved, how much you shared the love, and how much you enjoyed it, how much you enjoyed this short experience. It doesn't actually, like, nothing actually matters here, like what school you go to, what job you have. Nothing matters, because I just feel like we all just want one thing, and that's the thing that we are going to experience when we are there. Okay guys, if you have any questions about my trip, then make sure to ask me in the comments. I am going to try to answer all of them. I absolutely recommend it. Even though I was scared that I'm gonna get addicted during the trip, after seeing it, I feel like I never want to come back. I just want to be there all the time. I don't feel like I am addicted. Of course, I would do that again, but I don't feel like I just need it, you know? Like, I don't feel like this is now what I have to do all the time. I am okay with just not being without it, just being with the memories of it. And when I have a new question that I need answered, or I would have a new intention, then I would do that again, absolutely. And I feel like the next time I would do it, I would just completely surrender to it. I would not try to fight it the same way as I was trying to fight it now, because I was scared I'm not going to come back, you know. And yeah, that's all from me, guys. And do it, you know, try it. And you don't have to just take mushrooms. There's a lot of ways, things that you can do if you want to have a DMT experience, right? Like, there's meditations for it, there is breathing techniques, there's a lot of things that you can do. All right, but I just feel like the mushrooms were the most profound after trying all the other things. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.